In this episode tonight, coming up, it's more chat about football.
Hello! Yes!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Corby Town podcast, TV podcast.
Corby Town TV. So if you're liking this and you've seen this, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, and share it with your mates if you've got any.
Don't forget to follow us on all the other social media channels and go to that website because it's really good.
So we've got some important stuff coming up tonight. We've got some sponsors coming in. But before we go to them, what we need to do is talk to you through what happened at the weekend. What happened at the weekend, Michael?
What happened at the weekend, Chuck? Well, that was a really, really good game of football, I thought.
It was a tough game of football.
It was entertaining.
I gave it 4 stars in the
I would agree with that.
So, it was a tough game of football, entertaining game of football, end-to-end. It was pretty much end-to-end. Lots of chances for both teams. Corby should have probably scored more, but then again, Racing Club Warwick had the attempts to actually put something into the back of the net as well. But a very tough game of football, and I think Setch mentioned that in his talk to me after the game.
Yeah, but they didn't have. I think we missed 4 one-on-ones. I mean, during the highlights, I mean, their chances were like outside the box and getting the ball in and headers and whatever, but not what you would say one-on-ones. Massive debate on the whole game, really, was the contentious winning goal, which was didn't go down very well with the Racing Warwick goalkeeper who got himself booked.
Now, I've seen it back now because the highlights are out there. If you go to the website, there's a link from the website if you haven't seen it, if you haven't already gone to the YouTube channel and seen it there. But it was a bit of a long shot on that camera, a long shot from Reece Kelly. It kind of bounced around about the 6-yard box. It looked like Toll maybe got a touch to it. That's why I gave it to Toll in the radio commentary. And no, he didn't get a touch to it. So I think that's why it stood. I don't know.
That was the debate. The official line was Joel never touched it. If he touched it, he's offside. Who knows? The only person that will really know, it's the same as last week, isn't it? Did Tendai get a touch or not?
No, that was that was an OG. But I spoke to Reece in the bar afterwards.
I see the picture,
and it was his goal. He's claiming it was his. I'd also say big thank you to Tendai Dare because he bought me a coffee and a Lion bar.
Oh. Never bought me a Lion bar.
Did you ask? No.
So
there you go.
But he messaged me last week.
Did
he messaged me last week. Have you got that tackle I did? The one I got booked for? Sorry, Tendai, but no Lion bar. I'm going to tell the story.
All right. Okay. There you go. Because we have to get everything out onto the website. So if you're missing anything, the update, the final report. The chat with Boss, both the audio and the visuals, the video interview is on. Links are there from the website, so go there. Best place for it, and the highlights are on there now as well. Though, if you're a young person, you might be interested in going to the TikTok account because all both the goals are on there from Keebs and from Reece Kelly.
We got the TikTok account, yeah. Yeah,
so.
Need to do some work on the Twitter, putting some stuff on there, I think.
I did put it onto Twitter to say go back to TikTok.
Okay, yeah.
Done it all. These fingers, look, disappearing. Down to the knuckles I am typing. But obviously the big game up here at Steel Park Saturday afternoon, Corby Town playing Coleshill.
Coleshill. We will be looking to get past the team that beat us 4-0. And I think it's fair to say we weren't at our best.
That was a midweek game, must have been.
Yeah, was it a Monday night? I think it was a Monday night, something like that. I'll maybe put a clip of Gary's interview on the night so you can have a listen to it. Yeah, not happy.
And I think that is as gutless and lifeless as a performance as I've had since I've been managing. Didn't see it coming, at this football club over the last season. We've looked after these players. We're doing everything we can. We're getting backed by the board. And today, we've let, I feel let down by the players. They've let themselves down. We've let the club down as a group. We're all in it together. I'm in it. I pick the team. I make the changes. But we were so bad tonight. That was a horrendous performance. And
we want a bit of revenge here at Steel Park. 3 o'clock kickoff here Saturday afternoon, and looking forward to that. But we'll have some special guests because we've got a sponsorship for the game, and they'll be coming in very soon, won't we?
They will indeed. Yes. Just to remind you that on the 26th, which is on Wednesday night, we're at home to Town here, 7:45 kickoff. Come along. They need as many as you to come along, get behind the team and see whether we can keep making positive progress.
This is the game that we have in hand over the team in third spot, Corby Town second in the league, 3 points ahead, 1 game in hand. This is the game versus a week on Wednesday, or next Wednesday as you'll be watching it. And you need to go up here and support the Steelmen. That'll be the last game of the season under floodlit.
Maybe. I do believe the playoff semi-finals, if we get that far, they play midweek, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, one would be the midweek, the Wednesday evening, and the next one would be probably the Monday.
Traditionally,
the
Monday,
bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
But of course, what also happens there is that we do have another nighttime game. It kicks off on the 8th of April, and it's away at Sixfields.
Yep, it is indeed. Big up really to Phil and the ladies. They had a 1-0 win yesterday against Diamonds. I think it was an away game.
I think so, yeah. I've seen the report come through.
I saw a bit of the reports on the website. Phil's put it up there. They struggled a bit in the first half, got it together in the second, and they won 1-0. Just done some checking, and as far as I can see, the youth team have not been entered into the Jamin Shield again. 10 teams have gone in. We're not one of them. And I think that comes back to we're just not playing football for whatever reason. You can see the pitch out there. It's not happening at the moment, so I don't know what they do with all the fixtures, but we'll have to wait and see on that one when the fixtures, are coming up.
But you can keep the abreast of that if you go to the Northamptonshire Senior League website.
Yeah, and don't forget we've got 2 football tournaments coming up at the end of May on the weekend that Chuck's away. So he'll know what weekend that is.
Oh, right, that's the May bank holiday.
That's correct. One on the Saturday, one on the Sunday. The Sunday is walking football, and I do believe it's youngsters on the Saturday.
I'll be at Bearded Theory.
I know you will.
So,
Who are you going there to see?
Ultimately, De Blonde, because I know she's there playing. I know that Ezra Furman's playing, so I'm looking forward to seeing her. And I don't know, the Manics are playing, and there's some other great bands as well. And looking forward to it, just being in a field and listening to music. I'm going to see Abdul Jarapov on Saturday night in Bedford. They were mighty fine, and they were supported by Corby's very own Spitting Feathers. So, if you don't go and see a band live every month, at least one a month, there must be something wrong with you, in my opinion.
Very much so. I do believe saw pictures that Frocher's Dog, it seemed to be a successful night.
Yeah, it looked like there were quite a few here in Corby to watch Ferocious Dog at the Steel Bar.
The band themselves are very good at putting photographs with the fans behind them every gig they do, and they really enjoyed it. It's out there, and I have no idea whose that is.
That'll be mine, which is really
It's so unprofessional that somebody leaves their mobile phone on.
But it is the chairman.
Whilst we're recording.
It's the chairman ringing me.
That makes no difference at all.
So the chairman of the football club has just This is breaking news, Michael. The chairman of the football club has rang me whilst I am here on air. Now we're joined by some very, very special guests. We have got sponsors for the game on Saturday versus Coleshill, which we've previously discussed.
We did.
And we have some fine gentlemen from Bakeaway here. Tim?
Yep.
There you go. I got a name right. I'm not winning. Now, who of you both? Bakeaway to us doesn't mean an awful lot. I've looked at the website this afternoon. Apparently, you're fine purveyors of quality. That was the word I picked out. Quality.
Exactly. Well done, Chuck. Well done.
Crepes, and this is far more important, the bestest ever food product ever. Pizza bases.
Yes. So we do pizza bases, ready rolled pastry, block pastry, and cookie dough. All raw. None of it is baked at Bakeaway.
You make the product.
We make the raw dough.
You package it.
We package it. Yeah.
And it goes off
goes out, and then the consumer cooks it.
And quality stuff.
Yeah, quality stuff.
Very quality, yes.
And you've got
what kind of companies does it go to?
It goes to all your major retailers. We do a brand, and obviously all the major retail outlets.
So I'm sure
Tesco's,
that we've probably
everybody.
eaten one of your products without knowing that it's come from Bakeaway.
You will have, yes.
Yeah.
If you've eaten ready rolled pastry, block pastry, the brand Just Roll,
Yes.
then you would have eaten it.
Excellent. And so the business is based in Corby. You've got a factory in Corby making the product.
Yep.
Why did you pick Corby?
About 7 years ago, Bakeaway was acquired by a company called Cerilia,
Right.
which is our parent company. A huge company out of Europe. Basically, went on a buying spree and went through pancakes in Europe, Rutland pancakes, and then bought Bakeaway in Corby. And then obviously we're in that little unit down in the BCAs, and now Alpha Court Road.
Yeah.
And then now we've moved to the big factory
On Furnace Road.
on Furnace Way, yeah. So we've been there just short of 5 years.
And I don't know, but I guess that because you're in Corby, you're kind of thinking, well, we need to kind of show that we're here, show that we want to be local, and that we want to support.
Yeah, no, exactly.
business,
I'll let
local
Tony
people.
go through that one, because last year they did some initiatives around the area. So I'll let Tony explain.
Yeah, so we've been trying to build the Bakeaway name within Corby because we're a massive sponsor of the town.
Yeah.
We've done a load of litter picking recently in the last year or so. We've planted trees.
Good work.
We sponsored a match last year as well for Corby Town. So we did that again. We did that last year as well.
Yeah.
So, but this year we've raised it a little bit, and you never know, in the future we might try and do more with Corby Town Football Club. We are one of the I would suggest one of the better employers within Corby. We want to sponsor our employees and look after their welfare and everything else as well. So it's a good place to work.
Yeah.
Not only that, we're investing massively within the business as well, so it's still growing. And it's we've got a really large, big 2 to 3 year plan at the moment, which is going to show that we're going to be a lot bigger. And it's a good place to work.
So it shows that you're concerned about the community, you're concerned about your workers. How many? Because you're sponsoring the game on Saturday here at Steel Park, Corby Town versus Coleshill, and Coleshill. And how many people are you bringing into the boardroom?
Well, I hope you're going to bring the 10 that
The
were allowed.
10.
Yeah.
And they're made up of workers. Did it go out to a lottery to the workforce?
The invite's gone out to all users, so all shop floor staff and office staff. So, and then anybody who comes first and says, I want to go, will make the 10.
Excellent.
That's as simple as it is.
The names will go in a hat, and the lucky ones will get drawn.
So Tony's name will get drawn.
That's pretty good, because in a lot of places it'd just be a closed shop and people on the floor wouldn't get the opportunity.
No. We got 180 workers. There's about 88 downstairs. There's a lot of supply chain and other admin stuff, obviously, but everybody gets a fair crack of the whip. We're not one of them where we'll close it up. No, at the end of the day, the invite goes out to all. We did it last year. I think it was more shop floor workers that came than office staff. So, yeah, we're more than happy to support.
We're just considering as well that, like Tim said, we've got 88 employees that work on the shop floor, but we work 24/7 on a Panama shift.
Right.
So you think about that, that shows how we're very automated. So the place is a good place. It's mainly making sure machines are running well.
Obviously, yeah. I mean,
but it's very modern, very automated, and a good place to work as well.
You've got to keep that turnover going. You can't stop machines.
No.
Any downtime is going to cost you, and therefore you've got to keep a full shift on all the time. So yeah, I think we all understand the economics behind that and the optimisation of your workforce
definitely.
and the working.
Do you work Christmas Day and all through the holidays? And
No, let's not get into.
Is that a bad question?
No, we don't. We stop on Christmas Eve. We reopen Boxing Day. Unfortunately, food industry, there isn't a lot of choice in that. It's not driven by us. That's driven by the customers. If we could shut down for 3 days and give everybody a break, we would. But the customer wants their product back on the shelf, so there's no leeway with that,
I worked in
unfortunately.
Solway Foods and Ashbury's for a number of years. And I was like, I have various jobs, so I know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, you get very little time off and it's hard work.
Even New Year now, we
You know.
work, which wasn't a nice decision to make. But unfortunately, the way the business is, to switch off for a day and a half, when you turn back on, you get all the problems. So we just run. And like we say, we do a Panama shift, so 1 year they're on, 1 year they're off. So we can't be any fairer than that at the end of the day.
And you've been here before. You've watched Corby Town before.
Oh, I haven't been to watch Corby. I live at a local, well, not a local, nearly local rival, Spalding, Lincolnshire.
We're not saying too much about the Tulips. We know about the Tulips and how they stole half of our team. But yeah, a big night when we beat the Tulips here, didn't we?
Yeah,
It was a huge
it was
night.
good. It was a good and a good night when we went there and beat them.
Yeah.
Danny Gordon free kick. Never forget that.
That's it, end of the podcast.
And of course, Tony, you don't like football because you're a West Ham fan.
I'm a massive hammer, yeah. Irons! West Ham haven't had a brilliant season this season, but we've got a new manager now with Potter, and I think if anyone actually watches the games, we're massively improving. Tim's an Everton supporter, so he was lucky the other day as well.
All right, Tony. All right.
But I think next season, I think we're going to do a lot better. Especially now we've got rid of that last idiot. Yeah.
I would just like to say there's only one team in here that's going to get Champions League football. I'm a Forest fan, by the way.
Well done.
You say that, but when Tottenham win the European trophy, that will put them directly in line.
Who are you supporting, Chuck? Arsenal?
Tottenham.
Oh, God.
So, Woolwich, did he say the A word?
Anyways.
No, we don't.
Anyway.
But going back to the mighty Corby Town, we are second in the league. We're pushing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a really important season. We've had a really good season, and it's important that we get to a win at the weekend and 3 points more to keep us away. We've got another game on the Wednesday night, which is our game that our game that catches us up with everybody else. So it's the pointy end of the season for every team involved.
Yeah, for everyone, yeah, definitely.
I had a question for you, chaps. Do you find that you have to take on seasonal staff when you've got like busy periods? You must have recognised busy periods during the year.
So September.
There's normally two, isn't there? Maybe the summer and leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, so we also import from our mother businesses in Australia pancakes. So you can imagine Pancake Day is massive.
Yeah.
It's really busy. But luckily that doesn't come into our factory. Our supply chain people deal with all of that. But they're really busy during that period. So that's all like supply chain people. But as around it gets to around September and leading up to Christmas, it's 24/7 full on. It's really busy.
We'll sort of put away about 2 million cases of product in freeze for Christmas without what we do fresh. We do about 1.3 to 1.8 million units, single units a week then between September and December. Just goes crazy once you get obviously any cooking shows come on, which is good for us. So we're not going to complain at the end of the day. People want to put it on Saturday Kitchen, we're more than welcome.
Oh, well, I'm well with Matt Tebbit for you. But I did look at the website today. There is also a LinkedIn account if anybody wants to look at the business. But it does mean, because you're only making product which needs to then be cooked or topped or created, it means you won't be bringing any food to Steel Park on Saturday.
No. I mean, we can bring some pizza pucks over and you guys can cook them up. There's nothing pre-prepared, unfortunately.
He's always looking for free
food, is he?
But don't you make the pizza dough for the dough balls for that really kind of high-end pizza chain, Express?
Yes, but they're raw.
They're
so you
raw.
still have to cook them, yeah. We don't do the cooked version.
Right.
They do that themselves.
All right, so there you go. There's no pizza dough balls on Saturday. but yeah, so what other involvement have you had with Corby, apart from the litter picking, which is always good? We see the Wombles out, obviously, quite a bit, and they're doing a lot of time. What would you say to the people out there? Because the amount of litter, you see it mainly on the main arterial roads around Corby. What can you say to these people that put the litter there in the first place? Terrible people.
Careful, Tony. How good's the edit?
Please take it home, because it's just ridiculous, the amount of litter. I'm also a very keen cyclist, so I cycle around Corby and all the villages surrounding Corby. And some of the fly tipping you see nowadays is absolutely disgusting. And I think it's something that really needs a lot of effort to stop people doing this fly tipping, because we need to catch them and deal with them.
And staying with the sports side of that then, if you're a keen cyclist, and this is important, ladies and gentlemen, you must have a list of decent cafes and coffee shops to visit.
A few.
Cyclists, they know all the best coffee shops.
Did you say pubs?
I also last year with a sponsorship, there's a very good charity called Grocery Aid who support people within the food industry.
Okay,
and that's mental health or debts or whatever, in sort of any sort of charity types of thing. So last year, a team of 4 of us from Bakeaway, we cycled from London to Brussels.
Wow.
And I think we raised around about £7,000 in that period. And then this year again, in September this year, we're doing it again. We're cycling from London to Amsterdam this time, which is a little bit further. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, how much, when you've completed a task like that and you know you've raised some money, how does that make you feel knowing that you've done that, and you've helped people?
Well, it's massive. It's a privilege, really. I mean, I enjoy it. This is good anyway. But it's a privilege to know that you might be helping someone who's in downtown turns.
Do you ever get to meet the people you help?
No, unfortunately, with Grocery, because it's quite a big charity, you know all the money's going into one area. But you can go on their website and look at things that they've done to help people.
So there you go. I've been on a big bike ride once. I did London to Brighton.
Oh yeah.
And it was fine until you get to that big hill just the other side of Brighton. But you can coast all the way in. But that was hard.
Don't tell me that was a Tottenham away day.
No, it wasn't. I did that.
It's one of the easier rides in the UK to do.
Sure, yeah.
God, I knew you were going to say that.
Cycling around Spalding where it's flat.
And also the London to Amsterdam. I mean, once they get in Holland, it's flat.
Yeah.
I also like to say I'm an ex-Grenadier Guardsman as well. I was in the Grenadier Guards for nearly 23 years. And obviously James Ashworth, BC, he was a Grenadier Guardsman as well. And I actually served with his dad.
We know Ash very well. I worked with Ash when he was a bouncer in the Game Bird. A doorman. A proper doorman and a graceful one. But he's been here on many occasions with the family, and I think Corby Town are very proud to have that above the stand. And anybody that knows or knew James Ashworth is aware of why it's here, is aware of why his name is in the square in front of the cube, and it should be very proud of what he did to save the people he was working with. But
definitely.
So that brings us to Saturday. Then you're looking forward to the game?
Very much so, yes. And I mean, very looking forward to watching Corby Town win. It'll be really good.
I hope so. We hope that happens. I suppose we better do a score prediction then. Not from you.
Right. All I'm going to say is, right, I was at the away fixture, and we've got to be 100% better than that.
Oh, no.
We were
What was the score in the away
It was
fixture?
one of those nights where we just didn't turn up. It was wet, it was rainy, it was whatever, right?
That was a plastic.
Was that like Liverpool on Sunday then?
Well, perhaps.
Well, they turned up the last 15 minutes.
Perhaps, but here we've had good results against Coleshill, so that was a one-off. You know, it was a one-off. It's just one of those nights. We all know what they're like, don't we?
Where are they in the league?
Mid-table.
Mid-table, yeah.
But I can't see it being 4-0 defeat on Saturday. But, you know, we've seen some strange things here at Steel Park. But I think the team, after the win at the weekend and the win over Wellingborough, I think the team know exactly what they need to do, and they go out there and try and achieve that. So
they're in a good place, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're in a good place.
They feel like a proper team. They're solid as one unit, and I think you know, Gary will put them in the right direction and say, this is how you need to play. There won't be many bobbles on the pitch, and hopefully we just get the ball across and get it towards.
We're in the best place we've been for 8 seasons, and I think people have just got to remember that. You know,
Just one question for us, someone who doesn't really follow the lower leagues as much as yourselves. If they do get promoted, what's next?
Big party.
Step 3.
Yeah, step 3.
Step 3, which is you've then got step 3, step 2, which is National League. Step 1 is the National League, as it was. People call it League 3, and then you're into the Football League.
Oh.
You know, pipe dreams, I guess. Local clubs around here have done it. You know, Peterborough Sports and Brackley. You know, they're knocking on the door of getting into the National League proper, which would be, people call it League 3 at the end of the day. There's so many professional teams in there, the likes of Scunthorpe and Oldham and, you know, people that have dropped out of the Football League. So it's really, really tough. So going into step 3 would be brilliant for us.
It'd be a nice couple of local derbies as well. Market Harbour Town. That's Harbour Town to you people. And Kettering Town are in there. And Leamington Spa, which is only just down the road. Now that they've fixed that road, you must on the same road going to Warwick on Saturday. Now that that road is fixed and there's no contraflows, got to Warwick in 40 minutes, and it said an hour and 15 on my sat nav. So that's a lovely road to go down, and you just turn off to St.
The only bone of contention that we would have is all depending on how it all splits. Kettering play in the south and we're in the north.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a natural split somewhere, and Harborough, they play in the south.
Yeah, because Spalding play there, don't they?
You know, Stamford are in the south. So it's going to be difficult. We don't know if we went up where we'd end up.
Okay.
You know, so it could be trips all the way up to Manchester and beyond. Or it could be trips
South.
south.
It's one of those things. We're geographically right in the centre of everything. I've seen Corby play as far up north as Blythe Spartans, as far west as Colwyn Bay. I've seen them play the other way down in Truro, and I've seen them on the Isle of Wight, and I've seen them in Folkestone. So what we don't get to do is play in London often. I did see Corby play Fisher Athletic a couple of times in the Isle of Dogs near Millwall. You have to get the bus all the way in. It's not walking down rather high road. It's not a good place to be. No, it's all right, London. You're all right in the south. So, but yeah, it's that's the joy in non-league football. It's the joy of all football, really. But you kind of get a chance to go to many different places in non-league football.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just one question. I hope we haven't covered this already. Employment at your place, is it difficult in the sense that, you know, when jobs become available, do they go like gold dust?
No. Unfortunately, no. We have currently, I think it's about 7 live vacancies across between warehouse, and then I think there's a couple in the office, and then in production itself there's 4 or 5. No, actually, we find it difficult to recruit. Don't know why that is. When we get the staff, they stay with us. A lot of people are 3 and 4 years since we moved site to the new one. But yeah, no, it's really difficult to recruit in the area. We're flabbergasted to why.
Where would people find these vacancies?
On Indeed.
Indeed?
Yeah, Indeed, yeah.
Right.
We did have a job boardy poster thing up on the fence, and then it got weathered and ripped on the main drive up there on that steel road, is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, on Indeed, they're on there. Obviously, we encourage people to apply if they're looking for a job. So
yeah, I heard today that we've just changed the way we do our hygiene as well. And
yes,
I've heard we've got 9 vacancies in the hygiene team as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, hygiene team going to mirror production. So where we have they'll do, it's not exactly 3 on 2 off, but they'll be basically, they can always then clean the line every night of the week. At the minute they're Monday to Friday, so it's quite restrictive. So that'll open this up then completely.
Yeah,
so,
and a lot of food places, as soon as you stop production, they're in.
They're in, yeah.
And then they're out and you're back in.
We're back in.
Yeah.
So we want that for the minute. Obviously, we don't get that on a Saturday and Sunday. We need that to go forward further. So yeah, no, if obviously anybody's watching who's after a job, go on Indeed. Bakeaway. Yeah.
What is the web address for Indeed, or is it?
Just go on Indeed
It's
and
an
put
app,
it on
isn't
there.
it?
Yeah, just go on Indeed.
Same with
the app.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, same bit like LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All right.
Just put in Bakeaway, Corby Jobs, and they're on there. So yeah, and they're live at the minute.
Yeah. And obviously, if you're a Corby Town fan and you work at Bakeaway, once a year, you'll get the chance to go and watch Corby Town and sit in the boardroom.
Bakeaway boardroom, exactly.
Though you have to be very careful, because if you're out with your management, you don't want to drink too much, and I believe the beer's free. So, and you'll be back on shift that night.
Yeah, that could be dangerous.
None of the management in Bakeaway drink any alcohol.
I'm sure. But
Since have you been demoted?
and how do your French owners view this?
Yeah, French Dutch, about 50-50 split owners they are. As in view what? As sponsoring?
Yeah, sponsoring things locally. Do they take a good view to that?
Yeah, they encourage it. Our European director, he's more than encouraging for us to do this sort of thing. Obviously, we need to get Bakeaway out in the community.
Yeah.
To recruit staff, retain staff. There's no better ways there more than coming to local football. So yeah, no, they're more than encouraging.
They do the same thing in France and Holland.
Slightly different over there, the way they recruit and obviously things like that. But yeah, I'm sure they do at some point in different places. So
I do love a boulangerie.
Yeah. So globally, CSR is one of the high things within the business. It's corporate social responsibility.
Oh right.
And it's very important to the business. So part of that is looking after your employees, human rights, and also looking after the local community as well. It's really, really important
to be part of the society that you're working in.
We do like responsible sourcing, sort of all the wheats from the UK, the flours from within an hour away.
Yeah.
Hour and 15.
Yeah.
All our flour. So you're thinking about over 10,000 tonnes a year of flour.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah,
and that's as local as we can get it. All our fats that we use as well. Everything's local.
Good work. So yeah, a responsible business and wanting to do great things going forward. But yeah, I think we should think forward to Saturday. Let's
talked about Saturday 4 times.
I know.
He's excited, isn't he?
I'm excited about the game.
He knows we're coming down. You see.
Yeah, and anybody that hasn't been to Steel Park, 'cause there's a lot of ground hoppers come down. I found a great new ground hopping app, but we'll talk about that next week. Oh, but yeah, it's quite good. And
we do have someone called Keith coming on Saturday, and he's a ground hopper.
Is he?
He travels all the way to Scotland. He's been to every ground,
every UK ground, and he's doing all the Scottish ones now.
He's doing the Scottish ones now. So Keith will be here. You maybe want to grab him for 2 minutes on Saturday.
We will need to speak to him, because at Corby Town, it's famous for having the best pre-match music on the tannoy.
Oh, what can we expect?
In other words, Chuck comes in, he puts all his own music on and convinces everybody it's the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what sort of music?
Well, it'll all be guitar based. You won't find any Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, or Michael Jackson here, because they're all rubbish. and that rubbish with the capital R.
We'll definitely turn up now then.
So, yeah, it's a rock and roll stadium. But yes.
Good.
Anything more?
No, I don't think so.
Right.
Anyways, gents, did we do score predictions
didn't.
on your... Go on, then.
Seeing as I'm semi-local, so I used to live in Kingscliff years ago, I'm going to say Corby 3-2.
He thinks we're going to let 2 goals in. No, okay, that's fine. We'll take that. Go on then, Tony. Go on.
I'm Corby, born and bred. So I'm going to say Corby 2-0.
2-0. I think that makes pretty much fair reading.
I think that's probably... you won't be 2-0, 2-1, I think, perhaps.
1 for Tendai, 1 for Toll. I'll say that. Looking
You're
forward to it.
predicting the scorer as well.
No, I'm not.
Brave man.
He sits on the
What's
bench.
this? Match fixing.
But, to wrap that all up then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Corby Town TV. We've got guests in from Bakeaway. If you need a job, go to their Indeed or go to LinkedIn. If you think, well, this is quite good for my business, I'm locally based, and I'd like to come and watch Corby Town too, then contact the club, info@corbytown.co.uk. And if you want to sponsor a game, you can do. There's 4 more games coming up to the end of the season. I think that must be 3. No, we've got 5 games at home. So 4 more games. If you want to get on and do that, contact them here at the email address, as I mentioned, info@corbytown.co.uk. But I'm sure you'll have a lovely day out on Saturday.
We will.
We will see you there in the boardroom. Michael, you'll be there Saturday filming.
Yeah, stuck away on my tower.
And
I don't get anywhere near the boardroom.
We'll save you a
I don't
pint.
need to go in there.
And I'll pop in for a coffee and say hello. But enjoy your day out. And if you've enjoyed watching this, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button. And of course, if you've enjoyed it when you've watched it, share it, because I'm sure you will.
Yes.
It's on the YouTube channel under Corby Town TV. What else do they need to look for?
Don't forget to go on all our other social media channels. They're all listed here below me. And don't forget to go to the website, because there's a young man that will get upset because he updates it every day.
It's called me young. I'm 37 years old. But in the meantime, we're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you at Corby Town Steel Park very, very soon. Let's do a kind of a collective wave to the camera.